Gators, Noles, Canes, Finns, Jags, Bucks. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Football season's back, and so is Game Face on FLSportsFan.com. We'll break down the college and pro teams in Florida with our good friend all season long, Gary Fineout, the sports addict. Gary, how about football season being back?
Oh, man, I am stoked, man. I am so glad to get through the doldrums of summer and to get into what we really love, football. College, pro, you name it, let's go.
We got like 4 months of heaven on earth right now with football season and the college and pro ranks. Let's go right to the first week in the college ranks. Florida with a tune-up game doesn't really mean much except building stats and the one-loss record.
Well, yeah, the Gators return. They're number one. They got a hellacious defense, and I think we all know that Tim Tebow is something special, but at the end of the day, it's going to be really hard to repeat as national champions. So I'm going to be really interested to see how they hold up their own against South Carolina and Tennessee in the next few weeks.
Oh, Gary, I wouldn't call you a Gator hater, but you really didn't jump on the Gator bandwagon until like championship week this past year. I'm going to call it right now. They will repeat. Only the third time in modern college football history, back-to-back winners will be the Florida Gators this year. Tebow, maybe not the Heisman, because don't you think he's got so many weapons around him, he doesn't need to run into the line as often?
Well, I think actually Tebow is going to have to do more work this year. I mean, I think they've got some really speedy guys around him and everything like that, but I happen to think the loss of Percy Harvin is going to be a bigger deal than maybe people think.
But, you know, most teams have a tune-up game early in the season. Not the case for Miami and FSU. Oh my gosh, to begin the season with each other every year, someone's going to be heartbroken, and what a game we had.
Well, it was certainly an incredible game, and now if you're an FSU fan, I think you walk away wondering what the heck's going to happen this season because, frankly, the defense was atrocious. I mean, they just could not stop Jackery Harris from throwing the ball at will downfield.
You say Jackery, I say Jacory.
Jacory, I'm sorry. But the point is that Miami looked really good offensively. FSU looked bad defensively, but I think that FSU's offense looked a lot better than it did last year.
But don't you think what we had here were two defenses underperforming, so the offenses looked explosive on both teams?
I don't know how you can come to that. I mean, that defense looked that bad at FSU. I mean,
well,
Miami, I really think it's going to be a long, long season for the Noles unless the offense just like outscores everybody. Now, for FSU fans, longtime FSU fans, this isn't new. This used to be the way it was.
But Gary, Ponder looked great, and a heartbreaker at the end there. That ball should have been caught. Miami probably deserved to lose with those short kicks that cut the field in half for FSU, but Miami just had that one more score on them. How bad is the season for FSU beginning with a loss? Can they recover?
Oh, absolutely they can recover. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunities for the fact. I mean, they play in the ACC, which, you know.
Kind of weak.
Kind of weak, and so I think there's opportunities. But what I'm saying is that the offense can't score 40 points every game.
You're right.
I mean, that's just the problem.
All right, let's segue right into the NFL kicking off this weekend. You got your Bucks, your Dolphins, your Jaguars. The Dolphins undefeated in 4 preseason games. Doesn't mean anything right now. They got to go to Atlanta. How tough is that game?
Well, it's going to be really tough, although it'll be interesting to see whether or not Matt Ryan the second time around, you wonder if he's going to get hit with that sophomore slump at quarterback. I think Miami has a lot of good things going on. I expect good things for them again this season.
Sure.
They're still in a tough division with New England. But of all the Florida teams, I have the most optimism regarding the Dolphins, and not so much about the other two.
And the 11-5 season in Tony Sperano's first year as coach last year was something of a miracle. The Wildcats surprised everyone. It's gone viral. A lot of teams have picked it up. Can they go 11-5 and make the playoffs this year? Call it now.
No, not with Tom Brady healthy. I think they can make the playoffs.
He's got to stay healthy, and I think you underappreciate the Dolphins and how far they've come. I'm picking the Dolphins to make the playoffs here on opening week.
I didn't say they wouldn't make the playoffs. I didn't say they wouldn't make the playoffs. I said they wouldn't win the division.
Okay, let's just throw down right here a lunch bet. Let's move on to the Jaguars. What kind of year are we looking at for them?
The Jaguars play in a really, really tough division. Despite, you know, people suggesting Peyton Manning's getting old, I think the Colts are going to be good. I think the Houston Texans are going to be good, and the Tennessee Titans are going to be good. I mean, it's not that Jaguars have a terrible team. It's just they play in such a hard division. I can't see them winning all 6 of those games against those other teams. So
all right. And let's go to Southwest Florida and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which you save most of your venom for.
I would consider it a miracle if the Bucs win 4 games this year. Trouble at quarterback. trouble with the offensive coordinator
And a
getting
new
fired.
coach.
I mean, a new
And a new
coach,
coach.
new offensive coordinator.
Tough year.
It's just everything has gone wrong in the last few weeks, and I think it's just apparent this team is just going to be spinning its wheels. And let's just hope that the Detroit Lions have a really terrible season, so that the Bucs won't be last in the league.
Let's move on to our weekly throwing of the penalty flag, only when it's deserved. And Gary, I'm throwing the penalty flag at the NCAA for continuing to pick on Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles about this academic cheating scandal. They self-reported, they self-disciplined, and the NC2A broke the deal. And TK Wetherell, the president, is not going out as president, where he's resigned by the end of this year, until he gets this fixed. Bobby should not lose those victories.
I absolutely. I mean, I think it's weird, this whole thing as to how it's all gone down. And I mean, the NCAA is of course sort of a mysterious kind of process and kind of star chamber kind of way of dealing with things anyway.
Well, we'll keep you updated, folks. Hoping all your teams win this weekend. Thank you, Gary Fineout, the Sports Addict, and we'll see you on FLSportsFan.com and the next edition of Your Game Face.